in this first segment, we are pleased to have with us Gavin Livingstone from Briley Systems and Helder Machado from Machado Consulting, also IT. And both of these chamber member businesses actively involved, but are going to be part of a panel for the Central Mass Business Expo, the 30th Central Mass Business Expo, taking place November 5th. We're hosting a dozen panels. Gavin, I'm going to turn it over to you. 12 panels, workshops. Yours is going to be about?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Tim. We are
drum roll, please.
We are providing an information technology roundtable. We'll focus on security issues. We'll focus on cloud computing issues. We'll also look at mobility, the use of mobile devices by your employees and how to set those up and secure them.
We've got 12 seminars that day, and we're really trying to change the expo up. You know, the days of just having a booth and inviting people to come and walk around, I think has changed because of technology, how people can market their businesses. And we're trying to build on some of the success that we've had with our chamber seminar series and the Worcester Women's Leadership Conference, where we're having kind of these interactive panels. So on November 5th, we're going to have a dozen panels, discussions. That's being sponsored by AbbVie, Bay State Savings Bank, and Webster 5 Bank. But yours, I mean, every business today, IT is a part of it. And that's what you're going to talk about, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Not only about the technology, but more specifically about the cloud, some of the roadblocks and some of the issues that you might encounter if you're thinking about implementing the cloud technologies.
So, Gavin, one of the things about the seminar series that we really enjoy at the Chambers, it's a chance for us, for our members, to get up and share their expertise with other chamber member businesses and answer questions, talk about opportunities, challenges, market themselves, hopefully business to business. You've got a good panel. Why don't you tell us who's on?
Well, we've got three very dynamic and capable technologists within the local community. Alan Falcon is the CEO at Cumulus Global. They're a cloud-oriented service provider. They've been around since the mid-2000s. And Alan is a very dynamic and capable person who has provided multi-site locations throughout the Northeast and has really done a lot in the cloud area. We have Mark Ayotte of Ayotte Technologies based in Bolton, Mass. Ayotte Technologies is a mobility wireless provider. Mark tends to spend a fair amount of time at exotic locations. I think he was just out in Guam recently and has traveled all over the United States deploying wireless and mobility solutions for organizations. And we also have Mr. Machado right here, who Helder is also a technology-oriented person in his prior life, but a very successful entrepreneur, a veteran, and a member of our armed services at this point.
Right, WPI grad and part of the renaissance of downtown
Absolutely.
business.
Absolutely.
So Helder, I mean, part of these roundtables are about these individuals getting up, speaking about their expertise, what's happening in the field, but also some good Q&A and conversation with those that show up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Looking forward to it. The Q&A is very important. It's part of us helping, for me personally, the technology and educating others on the technologies and the new technologies that are out there.
And certainly front of mind when we talk about IT, we talk about business information and is security, cybersecurity, right. Data security. I assume that'll be a subject that'll be discussed.
It is, and actually that'll be the area that I'll be focused on, educating people about what kind of risks there are with the cloud. It's a great technology, but there are obviously risks associated with it, and just things that people should know and be aware of when you're implementing some technology like the cloud.
Mm-hmm. Gavin, same thing?
Well, I think what we'll be looking at is kind of a high-level glimpse of those three topics: cloud, mobility, and data security, but also some very practical issues and advice for the folks that are attending.
Mm-hmm. The other issue is in this is people in their business today, they may go in, I'm going to be a retailer, or my business is, manufacturing, my business is healthcare. But you can't do any of those things without also having some working knowledge of IT, or bringing your own person, or hiring a firm to do that. Tricks of the trade or advice in terms of how people put together an analysis of what their needs are?
Well, I think on our end, we always suggest that you pick somebody you're comfortable working with, preferably somebody that fits in with the types of work that you're involved in. And for us, it's typically a long-term relationship, one based on integrity and trust. Having a team of folks at different levels of capability makes a big difference as well. The high-end person who is figuring out the major corporate strategy isn't the person that you want changing paper in your copier.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And as you're working with particularly small businesses who are trying to get their arms around this, what's the right system? What's your kind of advice from the outset?
So we like to sit down with the business owner or the entrepreneur and basically build a strategy that helps them not only meet their needs today, but grow with their business as they grow. Helping them leverage existing technology, new technologies that are coming out, and how they best can utilize those technologies to grow their business.
One of the things that we hear from our chamber member businesses on a regular basis is kind of workforce training development. As people out there are thinking about careers or changing careers, young people with 36,000 college students, I guess, what advice would you have for people who might be interested in getting into IT, or what's the backgrounds that you look for when you're hiring?
We love people, men or women, young men or women, who actively take their technology apart, dissect it, figure it out, put it back together. They have that curious, constantly moving mind that says, hey, I really want to know what's going on. We find that folks that are interested in music tend to be fairly good employees as well, that they just seem to have some connection there that works well for us. But most important for us, it's personality. We're a technology company, but we work in the real world with other business organizations. You've got to be able to talk normal communications in business terms with other folks and bring the technology piece into it in ways that people can understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I couldn't echo that any more strongly. Having a passion for technology, having some curiosity. We actually have the same feedback where a lot of our engineers are great musicians, whether they like music in general or they're a musician, whether a bass player or a drummer. It's just a common trait. But I think overall we look for that personality. It's uncommon. Sometimes when you think of IT people, they tend to be more introverted. We look for people that have a good personality, have a passion for technology, love to learn, love the curiosity of taking things apart and trying to figure them out.
Mm-hmm. Well, important, especially as we, our millennials, those idea of kind of those communication, working as a team, and very important. Something we're working on with our Chamber Higher Ed Business Partnership on kind of some of those soft skills. But I want to thank both of you for being here today, for helping lead the panel. We know it's going to be a good one and a good day at the DCU Center on November 5th. So thanks for being with us. We want you to stay with us. We still have a couple more segments that we're going to have on next. The new president of Anna Maria College, Mary Lou Rattel, and following that, update on what's happening at the Ecotarium. Stay with us. We'll be right back.